But, you know, the run out of a few key players, including Sabu, and then also Mahdi wasn't quite able to back up after this morning. This is lifted up and over the top. It's probably going to plug a little bit, but it'll still have enough to roll across the rope. Cuatro carreras. Nice shot over the offside by Beth Ellis.
Yeah, good shot. So Kamati does get the area right, goes for outside the off, but once again still a little bit short. And the batter is quite happy to rock back and fire this away. Well, this is what we're talking about here. So England have a great opportunity if they can get this win very quickly to pick up all the points.
7 overs or less, they'll scoop the pool. Probably unlikely that they won't make the 30, exceed the 30. But I mean, you can already see how that can certainly put another angle on a game where the result here, it's a bit of a foregone conclusion. But it does potentially, if you can string a few good overs together and force the batting team to eke out the win rather than let them dominate and win with so much time to spare, you can take something away from the game.
Want to try and round the wicket here, Kamati. Just struggle a little bit with the line. See if this helps. That's a much better delivery. They're getting a little bit of bat onto this, and I think needed that bat. It gets this in the right area this time, and yeah, it gets bat onto pad. Otherwise, that could have sneaked through.
Again, you look at the length, and I think you got to be trying to draw batters forward, hopefully without it being a full toss. So that's your happy zone, I think. Last ball of the over.
Great shot, really good shot, all along the deck. I think Ellis knew what was coming. She anticipated it well and executed it well. This is a beautiful stroke. All along the deck as well. Fielder ne koshish ਕੀਤੀ ਚੰਗੀ dive ਮਾਰੀ, but ਚੌਕਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ.
That's a banging straight drive, and that's kind of exactly what I was saying the bowler should be hoping to do. Draw the batter forward into a mistake. Well, drew the batter forward, no mistake. That was absolutely crunched down the ground. End of the over, and 24 for no loss after 2. So yeah, England could actually go to the very top of the table with a win here if they can win in 7 overs or less. So Austria, the only way they could take a point out of this is to push the game to the 8th. It's looking pretty unlikely at the moment, although Priya Sabu is a pretty good bowler. She's going to bowl the 3rd over.
Yeah, Sabu. No change in the field, very much the same. Still got the close fielder. Shouldn't be a run there. There's 8. Gets down nicely. That's the captain, Stiglitz. And, yeah, you've got Emma Kirkman, who's in that familiar sort of pretty close out on the offside to stop any singles, and catching position as well. This gets lofted, gets past one fielder. Will it be stopped on the boundary? No. Kamati does get a hand onto it, but not able to keep it in the field of play. In fact, that's Malika. Beg your pardon, Malika.
The thing with Malika, she's so tall that it's a long way down to the ground. She does the right thing here. Tries to get down to ground level, but just wasn't quite able to get enough of the ball. Come back to the chat. I noticed a question a little while ago, because we did digress into keeping chat a little bit. And the question was, who is my keeping idol? Actually, you know, it's an Englishman. Again, it's Jack Russell.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say
Jack
that.
Russell.
That
you know what?
Because
he's also gets weirdo points.
He's a character.
Yeah,
he's some character.
His autobiography, you know what it's called?
Well, this gets played away. It's going to be 4 runs, but is it going to be 5? Because I think they might be looking at the height at this as well. Does it dip enough? 4 signalled. So the signal has come already. So just have a look at this. I mean, it is dipping, but at what point? Let's see here.
For me, it's a no-e. Yeah. I think you got to call that. But it will not be called. Having a bit of mercy for the Austrian bowlers.
I can sort of understand it.
Yeah,
it was no real pain. Being just a bit too short.
Just a touch.
Yeah, so go on.
So Jack Russell, his autobiography is called Jack Russell Unleashed. And it's a great read. I've got a paperback copy from somewhere.
Timed to perfection, 4 runs. Don't have to chase this. And one thing we know about the Cardamom Oval is that this outfield, well, if the ball gets past you, forget it. And now that it's dried up, nicely after that early morning dew. You're not going to catch too many of those. Delightful shot though. Just love the timing and the placement of this shot.
Yeah, brilliant batting. Both these two looking very, very comfortable. I already mentioned Sarah Taylor, my favourite female player ever. My other keeping idol, a little bit an obscure one, Jeffrey Dujon of the West Indies. Felt sorry, never got to keep up.
Oh, that's a good stop. Really good stop. And then flicks this back to the captain. That wasn't quite expecting it first. There's the stop.
Great effort though. I mean, like, doesn't take a backward step, tries to block it, does a good job of partially deflecting it away. Yeah, Jeffrey Dujon. He had a few little acrobatics. Ian Healy's autobiography? No good. Couldn't finish it.
No good. What do you mean no good? Okay, this one will go all the way. Bolle. Inna Sona Shaka Lagya, and with that is it. It's done and dusted, and they do it in style. So England, well, winning their first, and they do it right, I think, at the end of the third over. So they only need the power play to do it. That's why it's called a power play. You show the power you have in the power play. And that again is a lovely shot from Meg Austin. It's a little bit over pitch, gets walloped away. 6 runs to finish. England will win, and then win with, well, you can see that win with just 18 balls being played. That means that they will be the first team that we'll see with this new point system pick up all the points. And unfortunately, Austria in this one, having got a victory over Spain, will end up with nada.
Yeah, so basically we now have a little bit of a break. In fact, that might have been one of the quickest games on record, only because we were running about 15 minutes ahead in the first innings, and obviously with the second innings only going to 3 overs. So England 11 doing it in the power play, win for them in their first ever ECCW match. But we're just about an hour away, slightly under, about 55 minutes away from the last game of the day, and we'll see Spain back on the park against the Dutch women, against the Netherlands, and that will be taking place at 2:45 GMT, which is 3:45 in Central Europe, and it's 7:15 PM in India. Let's go back. I mean, there for a good time, but not a long time. But really, the manner that they did this and some of the strokes played, I think we can see that the England 11 are going to be a tough nut to crack in this series.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing you'll look at is that most of the shots that we saw played were on the leg side. So the bowlers, they just let themselves down a little bit, didn't they? And that was a cracking shot. They shot off this innings by far, maybe even a shot of the day. But you can see there the leg side, too many deliveries going down leg side. Malika wasn't able to stop that. That's another one that could have been called for a no-eat, got away with it. But again, they kept on bowling in those areas, and they got punished for it. Once again, some more timing, more placement, and a little bit of width, but got hold of that nicely. And then this one was going to finish the game, wasn't it? It was a full toss on the legs, and it gets absolutely clobbered by Meg Austin. So a good start from the England 11. They're a team we knew that were going to be contesting to be right up there in the final at the end of the week, at the end of this tournament. And the way that they've started here, you can see why a lot of people were picking them to be the favourites. I mean, a team that haven't played that much together, but it doesn't show, does it? They bowled well, they fielded well, they were exceptional in the field, and they went out there and they got the win, and they were pretty ruthless as well. Austria, well, I think they've had a good start. They've got a good win against Spain. They'll be a little disappointed, Vinny, with the way that they've... I mean, I don't think they were going to win that match. They knew that, but I think they'd be disappointed that they weren't able to make England work harder for that win.
Yeah, little things having big consequences as well. I'll go back to the run out of Sabu, which was unnecessary. I think they missed a trick with the batting order as well. I mean, I think you had to get Mahadiwa out there straight away, lead with the batters who'd done the job for you in the first game. As far as the bowling went, Mahadiwa not a bad over 7 of hers. I think Priya Sabu might have delivered the first magical over of this ECCW in the final over of the game. So a bit of an extended break then. We'll be back in around about 55 minutes as Equipo Rojo, the Spanish side, will be out there against the Dutch. The Dutch winning the toss and electing to bat in that one. If you want to check out the fantasy dashboard when it's ready, it'll be at our website, europeancricket.com. And also, you'll see it pinned to the chat. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo, on a historic day for cricket and European cricket. we have the final match of day one around the corner right here in the ECCW.